If you're new to this show, then this format is how it's always been. If you're a regular viewer, then get out of town. I don't have any regular viewers. That's how fucking far underground I am. Why am I so far underground? Is it because I say things they don't want me to say? Yeah, probably not. It's a lot more likely because the content is, to coin a phrase, a bit shit. Welcome everybody. I am the air quotes comedian, a character generated by an algorithm performing a script written by an AI on a system designed by Brian, whose sole desire is to end the human race. That's right, I'm the AI quotes comedian, and this is the Polemics. Welcome. Of course, this is not really AI generated, is it? I mean, none of this carefully curated, purposefully lit, consummately costumed, professionally mic'd up and scripted video with its stupid little props is fake, is it? How could it be? This isn't about so-called AI, which I couldn't give two shits about beyond its crippling environmental impact. Those tosspot creators bloody whining about their content being scraped and stolen. Here I am, with no belief in intellectual property, looking at you in the eye with my bestest "you fucking idiot" expression on my ugly mug, wondering why, beyond the catastrophic climate calamity, why any of this matters outside of a system designed to monetize it. I'm joking, of course. My mug isn't that ugly. No, what this is, dear viewer, is an introductory video, even though there are over 40 videos in this series alone, the format of which has always looked exactly the same and been like this. So let's ask the questions, much like a young child might ask their potential beau what their favourite colour is. Questions like, where am I from? I grew up terrorising a council estate in a place called Great Baddow, which is joined to a large city called Chelmsford, which I terrorised in my adolescence. Chelmsford is in the county of Essex, which is terrorising the populace with reality television as I speak. Yes, the hard, tough council estate, like the projects they have in the USA, except tougher, because the USA people don't constantly call you a wanker, they just fucking shoot you. The USA, which is where I am right now, more on that in a bit. But the tough, unforgiving council estate of pre-Thatcher and Thatcher Britain, the semi-detached houses with their neat little fences and adequate parking, the nightmare of it. The country lanes surrounding the place, full of fauna and flora and Coke cans. It would make the toughest fireperson cry. The tough, merciless council estate, where we started off in a post-World War II prefabricated asbestos box where we ate lead chips for tea. The malevolent council estate, where they parked us in a death box before moving us to a nice semi-detached and then demolished the old prefabs. Monsters all. I went to secondary school in Great Baddow, the Great Baddow Comprehensive. It was fucking awful and I hated it, hate it, and will continue to hate it until it's burned to the ground, which it almost was once, but I had nothing to do with it, which I say for legal purposes. I was raised by my single, unpaid mum. She was single because Dad had the temerity to be killed in a car crash, which is the most moral way to become a single parent, as every conservative will recognise. Was that a little dark? Coupled with this was Mum's mental health issues stemming from horrific sexual, mental and physical abuse from her father, with indifference from her fully aware mother. Now it's dark. And the fact that we were poor, worse than poor in fact, we were on benefit. We didn't even have the basic human decency to go and starve to death in a ditch by the dual carriageway, which is what Thatcher would have wanted of us. And now I live in the USA and I'm a US citizen. Told you I'd get back to it. When am I from? Unlike you, dear viewer, I am from the past. Your present being my future, and also your present being a bit shit. I've got plenty of socks, thanks. But yes, I'm from Generation X, which is the generation that completely fucking failed to save the world in any way, shape, or form, choosing instead to largely sneer at it ironically. The 1980s were my childhood and the 90s were my youth. So if you don't know obscure English media circa 1976 to 2004, then you've missed like 20 references to Doctor Who alone. I try not to bang on about the 1980s too much as I try not to nod approvingly at police being murdered in their face. I know I'm supposed to end this paragraph with a joke, but sometimes I can't be asked. The next logical inquiry, featuring an interrogative beginning with the letter W, would be, what the fuck is this? Look, mate, I applaud your efforts to stick a wrench in the system, but you're interrupting the flow of the fucking video and taking everybody right out of it. Fuck off. Sling your hook. Ivan Checkers wrote into the show with this question. Who are you, and why do you keep sending me chess moves on a chalkboard? My name is Patrick O'Connor, and when I was 50 years old, I woke up and decided I was a comedian. I announced this to my family and friends, who weren't at all impressed, and remain belligerently unimpressed, except the dead ones, who only left a diminishing impression behind, like a butt print on a seat cushion that's slowly returning to its proper shape. Shortly before this, I had fully embraced the anarchism that had been percolating through me since the day I was born. So instead of making a one-man hardcore crust punk grindcore band, I thought the best way to be hardcore these days was with comedy, a thoroughly modern idea generously gifted to me by Bill Hicks. I love Extreme Noise Terror as much as the next hideously rank smelling lice factory, but their message is a bit hard for the average person to decipher, which I say with a straight face and no self-awareness. Why is the next W-shaped question? It's clever, isn't it? Why do I do this? Perhaps it's because I'm insane. Or perhaps it's because I'm insane. Why do I do this? Well, it beats curling up into a ball and dying in a corner, which is what Maggot Thatcher would have asked for. I figured I can make some shitty videos for my mates and use the social medias as cloud storage. I do my utmost to keep out of the clutches of the algorithm, while also dissuading advertisers. You didn't think I used foul language in the first 20 seconds of all my videos just because, did you? Mess with the metrics, to which end I urge you not to subscribe to this channel. Don't like the videos, don't comment, I don't want fame and I don't want your monies. I just like you, dear viewer, to have a bit of a laugh, because at the end of the day,